J.P. Delaney, which sounds familiar, but I don't think I've read a J.P. Delaney myself. Alright, it says, Emma, reeling from a traumatic break-in. Emma wants a new place to live and discovers 1 Vulgate Street, an architectural masterpiece sleekly designed with soaring ceilings, but there are rules for tenants. The house's enigmatic architect likes to retain full control of the surroundings, mandating, among other things, no clutter of any kind. The space is ingeniously crafted to transform its occupant, and it does. Jane. After a personal tragedy, Jane needs a fresh start. She is instantly drawn to 1 Vulgate Street and to its aloof but seductive creator. Moving in, Jane soon learns about the untimely death of the home's previous tenant. As Jane tries to untangle truth from lies, she unwittingly follows the same patterns and makes the same choices and experiences the same terror as the girl before. So this sounds really good. It is a psychological thriller. It is about the perfect length for me. It's a little over 300 pages, which is kind of like my sweet spot. Alright. This one was really popular. It is The Silkworm. Oh, this part is like raised. You can feel the letters. And it is by Robert Galbraith, a Cormoran Strike novel. So this must be part of a series, maybe. So maybe I have to read that one first. I don't know. It says, when novelist Owen Quine goes missing, his wife calls in private detective Cormoran Strike. At first, she just thinks he has gone off by himself for a few days, as he has done before. I wouldn't bother looking, but whatever. And she wants Strike to find him and bring him home. But as Strike investigates, it becomes clear that there is more to Quine's disappearance. Is it Quine or Quinn? It's Quinn with an E, so I don't know. More to Quine's disappearance than his wife realizes. The novelist has just completed a manuscript featuring poisonous pen portraits of almost everyone he knows. If the novel is published, it will ruin lives. So there are a lot of people who might want to silence him. And when Quine is found brutally murdered in bizarre circumstances, it becomes a race against time to understand the motivation of is translated from the Turkish by Fred Stark. And I don't always do well with translated books because sometimes they don't translate well. But we'll see. Zeberjet, the last surviving member of a once prosperous Ottoman family, is the clerk at the Motherland Hotel, a lonely, middle-aged introvert. His simple life is structured by daily administrative tasks and regular routine sex with the hotel's maid. One day, a beautiful woman comes to spend the night, promising to return next week. Suddenly, Zeberjet's insular mechanical existence is dramatically and irrevocably changed as he begins to live his days in fevered anticipation of the mysterious woman's return. But the week passes, and then another, and his fantasies become more and more obsessive. Zeberjet gradually loses his grip on reality. Motherland Hotel was hailed as the novel of the year in Turkey when it was published in 1973. Astonishing critics with its experimental style and its intense psychological depth and its audacious description of sexual obsession. Yusuf Ataglan was established as one of Turkey's premier modernists, and Zeberjet was compared to such memorable characters as Quentin Compson in Faulkner's The Sound and the Fury, and Moorsaldt in Albert Camus's The Stranger. I don't read classics, so I couldn't tell you. Motherland Hotel is a startling masterpiece, a perfect existential nightmare, the portrait of a soul lost on the threshold of an ever-postponed Eden. Sounds good, right? And it's like a novella. I think it's short. Yeah, 150 pages. So this would be a good one to like take on a day trip. This is like a 2-day book. One day maybe if you're not working the whole day. Okay. So Mary Higgins Clark, let me tell you, I don't think I've ever read a Mary Higgins Clark, but when I was a little lass, my grandma had us watch this movie. We always watch this movie called Where Are the Children, and I believe that was based on a Mary Higgins Clark book. So I always wanted to pick one up, and now I have picked up a few. Oh, it's actually by Mary Higgins Clark and Ella Fairburg, and this is The Celerenda Murder. Let's see. The police are in the dark, but the killer is now in the spotlight. Television producer Lori Moran is delighted when the pilot for her reality drama Under Suspicion is a success. A cold case series that revisits unsolved crimes by recreating them with those affected. It helped solve an infamous murder in the very first episode. Now Lori has the ideal case for the next episode, the Cinderella murder. When Susan Dempsey, a Californian university student, they're in the kitchen doing kitchen things, and that's right on the other side of this wall. Why was her car parked miles from her body? Has she ever shown up for her acting audition at the home of an up-and-coming director? Why is Susan's boyfriend avoiding questions about their relationship, and why was Susan missing one of her shoes when her body was discovered? With the help of lawyer and Under Suspicion host Alex Buckley, Lori knows the case will attract great ratings, especially when the former subjects include Hollywood's elite and tech billionaires. But is Cinderella's murderer ready for a close-up? Well, this is the start. I think this is the start of a series, which is cool, because if I like it, I can keep going. This is about 300 pages, so perfect length for me. Okay, there's two more. This one, I Interesting, right? Her name is Dinah. In the Bible, her life is only hinted at in brief and violent detour within the more familiar chapters of her father Jacob and his dozen sons in the book of Genesis. Told in Dinah's voice, this novel reveals the traditions of turmoil of ancient womanhood, the woman of the red tent. It begins the story of her mothers Leah, Rachel, Zilpah, and Bilhah, the four wives of Jacob. They love Dinah and give her gifts that are to sustain her through a hard-working youth, a calling to midwifery, and a new home in a foreign land. Dinah's story reaches out from the remarkable period of early history and creates an intimate, immediate connection. Deeply affecting the red tent combines rich storytelling with a valuable achievement in modern fiction, a new view of biblical women's society. So the teenagers are in the kitchen, and whenever I tell them I'm going to make a ASMR, they get the church giggles. Because they're trying to be quiet. Alright. Trying. Keyword trying. I appreciate the effort though. And this last one, this is pretty popular. I'll Be Gone in the Dark. One woman's obsessive search for the Golden State Killer by Michelle McNamara. Now I have only seen, I don't know what happened there. It was telling me that my pencil battery was low because I'm on my iPad. I'm making a video, like now is not the time to alert me for that, but okay. I've seen one bad review for this, but I've seen a lot of good ones. You'll Be Silent Forever and I'll Be Gone in the Dark. Over the course of more than 10 years, a mysterious and violent predator committed 50 sexual assaults in Northern California before moving south, where he perpetrated 10 sadistic murders. In 1986, he disappeared, eluding capture by multiple police forces and some of the best detectives in the area. 3 decades later, Michelle McNamara, a true crime journalist who created the popular website True Crime Diary, was determined to find the violent psychopath she called the Golden State Killer. Michelle pored over the police reports, interviewed victims, and embedded herself in the online communities that were as obsessed with this case as she was. At the time of the crimes, the Golden State Killer was between the ages of 18 and 30, Caucasian and athletic, capable of vaulting tall fences. He always wore a mask. After choosing his victims, he favored suburban couples. He often entered their homes when no one was there, studying family pictures, mastering the layouts. He attacked while they slept, a flashlight to awaken and blind them. Though they could not recognize him, his victims recalled his voice, a guttural whisper through the clenched teeth, abrupt and threatening. I'll Be Gone in the Dark, a masterpiece McNamara was writing at the time of her sudden death, offers an atmospheric snapshot of a moment in American history and a chilling account of criminal mastermind and the wreckage he left behind. It's also a portrait of a woman's obsession and her unflagging pursuit of the truth, framed by an introduction from Gillian Flynn. Is it Gillian Flynn? And an afterword by McNamara's husband, Patton Oswalt. The book was completed by Michelle's lead researcher and a close colleague, utterly original and compelling. It is destined to become a true crime classic and may at last unmask the Golden State Killer. Oh, that's interesting. So Michelle McNamara, the original author, died in 2016. I did not hundreds of dollars at Barnes and Noble. Hundreds of dollars a month. I'm not gonna let myself start that again.